So welcome everyone. This is Power Hour. My name is John. And for this class, we don't need too many prompts. All you need is your handy dandy yoga mat. So roll that out and maybe a couple of blocks. You don't have to use any blocks for this practice. I don't think you need any props for this class, but if you'd like to use props, whether it's blocks or a blanket or pillows, anything like that, go ahead and grab what you need and have those nearby. But not really using any props for this particular practice. And this one I have called many triangles. So triangle pose will be certainly one of our featured postures, but it's going to be a lot of triangles in this practice. So be ready. So we're going to start. Let's go ahead and start in mountain pose. So I invite you to stand near the top of your mat, and you may have your feet about hip distance apart with your toes pointing forward. We're just going to stand tall and still for a few moments before we begin our moving practice. What you may want to do is maybe just circle your shoulders a few times just to loosen up the upper body, kind of in the shoulders, your neck, your back, upper chest region. And start taking a few deep breaths, just combining the simple movement with deep breaths. You can breathe in through your nose, and you might exhale through your nose or exhale through your mouth. And when you feel like you're just loosened up a little bit in the shoulders and neck and upper body, just come to stillness. Just slow, steady breaths in and out. Good. You want to breathe in a way that you can feel your breath, that expansiveness as you breathe in and fill up your lungs. And you also want to hear your breath. So maybe it sounds like an ocean or even the wind blowing through the trees. Good. So we're just preparing for our moving practice, just tuning into ourselves. Slow, steady breaths, noticing the sound of the breath, the feeling of your breath. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more energy to our breathing effort before we start moving. So we're going to inhale, and again, just feel the breath rising to fill up your lungs, that nice expansiveness in the chest. And then you exhale, draw your navel inward toward your spine. So we're engaging the abdominal lock. So it feels like your belly button is pulling in toward your spine. So again, a nice inhale, getting nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, filling up your lungs and heart space. Exhaling, drawing navel in, that light contraction of your abdominal muscles. Go ahead and do that a few more times on your own. Good, and just 2 more breaths in and out, and we'll start moving. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Treat it like a good stretch. Reach high, even pause here and reach a little higher. Then as you exhale, let's fold forward so it's a good hinge of your hips. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way down, folding carefully, maybe touching your toes. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your knees, maybe your thighs, to extend your spine. We're going to exhale and fold. We're going to hold our forward fold for a few moments, just so you can start to feel this lengthening sensation, a stretch quality down through the backs of your legs. Again, keep a softness in your knees. Since we're forming and creating triangle poses, that means there'll be a lot of kind of leg extensions or ways that we're going to be stretching and lengthening through the backs of our legs. Let's go ahead and shift the weight back into the heels. Bend your knees. Let your hips lower downward as if you're sitting into a chair. Look forward. Extend your arms out to the side as you stand up tall. Breathing in as you do so. Reach for the ceiling. Then exhale. Bring your palms together and down to your heart. We'll pause here. Just take a breath or two. Just returning to stillness. Let's go through that half salute once again. Here we go. Inhale, let's float the arms up into the air. Reach high, big stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Just going at your own pace, never a rush. maybe touching the ground or your toes. Inhale, rise up halfway, forming this long tabletop with your body. And exhale, folding again. Let's do the same thing. We'll just hold for a few moments. To add a little bit more sensation in your hamstrings, perhaps, you might shift weight forward towards your toes to the point where you might have to grip your mat with your toes so you don't topple over. And that will engage your hamstrings because they're engaging so you don't fall over. Then shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees, take that little seat, look forward, extend your arms out. Inhale, stand up tall, reaching higher than before. And exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart. Another pause as we come back to breath. Very good. Let's go through our sun salutations now. Series A. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, fold forward. Still taking your time. Move slowly. Bend your knees. Inhale, rise up halfway. And as you exhale, bend your knees enough to place your hands on your mat so you can step both of your feet back or just walk back into plank pose, just drawing the straight line through your body. We'll breathe in. Then exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air, and that should guide us right into downward facing dog. Take a moment to adjust your feet, maybe your hands if you need to, so we can settle into the pose. Let's do some more lengthening in the legs, paying attention to the calves. So we just pedal the feet, pressing one heel down while the other heel lifts and just alternate. So the knees will bend here. It feels like you're walking or even pedaling a bicycle. So feel that stretch quality through your calves and maybe even your toes. They get a little stretched too. If you need that lengthening in the calf muscle, you may want to pause and press that heel down so you can really feel that nice lengthening effect. Do one more on each side and just return to a downward facing dog. Once here, we'll breathe in. Then exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet back up to the top of your mat. Inhale to rise up just halfway. We'll exhale to fold again. Bend your knees, weights in the heels. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up to standing, reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, now we're going to move right away into Series B. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, take chair pose, Utkatasana, or a chair-like position. Inhale, a little bit more extension out through your arms. Exhale, dive out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. And exhale, bend your knees, hands to the mat, and walk or step both feet back into plank pose. We'll take a breath in. This exhale will finish the push-up. Now you can bring your knees to the floor first if you need to, then your chest. Inhale to a back bend. It might be upward facing dog or cobra pose. And exhale right back into downward facing dog, lifting your hips into the air. Just pause for a moment. You can keep a slight bend in your knees in down dog. That will allow the hips to lift a little higher and create more lengthening through the spine. Let's continue with our lunges. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat next to right hand. Left heel turns to the floor, shifting the weight back into that foot. So there's good balance here. Less weight in the hand so you can inhale, rise up easily. Warrior one. We'll exhale to fold. Take your time if you need to. Plant your hands. We'll step right foot back. There's plank. Finishing your push-up. Modify it if you need to. You can even take that shortcut again and move right away into down dog. And that's where we'll all meet together. Then inhale, extend left leg up behind you, reach back. Good extension there. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Next to left hand, right heel turns and plants into the ground. Inhale, rise up with those light hands reaching up into the air. And exhale, we'll fold. Right back down, plant the hands firmly, step back, plank, complete your series. Inhale to up dog, or take that cobra pose, and exhale, downward facing dog. Arriving in the posture, once again, we'll pause in this inverted position. And then we're going to go to the floor. You're going to bend your knees. Come down to the ground, maybe sit back briefly in hero, just really quickly, and then just slide off onto your seat here. Swing the legs around to the front. Sit in the center of your mat, and then roll down onto your back so we can move into bridge pose. So once you're down, go ahead and bend your knees, feet flat on the ground. Take a moment here, just a few breaths so you can just kind of settle in for a moment. It's a nice way to kind of relax your back before moving into the back bend. And whenever you feel ready, go ahead and take that full breath in, filling up your lungs. Exhale to empty the belly. That's still a contraction of the belly. And then lift your hips up off the ground. And of course, you're pressing your feet into the mat in order to lift the hips. With the upper body, you might bend your elbows here and just press into the ground just to stabilize the body. But you can also get the shoulders a little bit more underneath you if you can or want to. So I like to get the shoulders underneath. And as you're able, you can squeeze shoulder blades together or even just press arms down firmly into the ground. This is a very active pose. You'll feel this pretty much throughout your entire body. Bridge pose, this back bend. Deep breaths. Still feel that nice expansive quality in the upper chest. Fill it up. See if you can bring your breath right up to your collarbones. Two more breaths. After that second breath, just wiggle your toes forward a little bit. That should bring release to the low back. Then extend your arms up into the air. That should release the shoulders. And then roll your way down to the ground. Nice soft landing. Let's bring both knees to chest here. Just holding for a moment, a little massage. I do that by creating some circles here. Nice massage for the low back after coming out of that back bend. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of leg extensions here. So first, you're gonna extend the left leg out onto the floor, out in front of you. Flex your left foot so that left leg stays active on the ground. Then we're just gonna extend this right leg. Don't worry if the leg doesn't straighten all the way. It's okay to keep a knee or a bend in the knee. You can even, and you just hold on to the leg to keep it up. And flex this foot. So the heel is reaching for the ceiling. So it just kind of brings this great dynamic throughout the whole leg as it's extending, okay? Just a couple more breaths. We're not going to be here too long. Then go ahead and just bend this knee, hug it into chest, and then extend the whole leg out onto the floor. Flex the right foot to keep the right leg active. And then bring left knee in. Hug it in first, and then take leg up. Right there, same thing. It's okay to keep a knee bend. Right there, flex the foot to feel the heel, reaching for the ceiling. Feel that action down through the entire leg. Now with the flex foot, you might be able to hold the leg in place without even needing to hold on to it. But if it feels like it's falling down, that's okay. Just hold on to it. One more breath. And then go ahead and bend the knee, hug the knee in. Let's go ahead and bring the right knee in as well. Another little massage. And you'll start rocking forward and back. Start your breathing again. Nice active breath. And with a good exhale, rock your way up to seated so we can come to boat pose. So I like to start with the feet flexed, heels on the ground, sitting up nice and tall with an extended spine. An inhale gets me tall. The exhale engages the center, and then I lean back like I'm in a lounge chair, keeping it flat, nice and straight. Tip the chin up slightly. You can stay just like this with the heels on the ground, or lean back more and allow the feet to float up. You can hold on to your legs. And once you've established the core connection, you might be able to release the legs and just free up your hands. Again, we're not going to be here too long. How about two more breaths? We're going to inhale on the third. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side. So you can hop or step back or just swing the legs back behind you. Plank, hold. Let's take a shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, send hips into the air, arrive in your posture. Take a breath. Back to our lunge sequence. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Reach back, straight line. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel to the ground behind you. Find that balance. Light hands that now float up into the air. Warrior one. And now we'll exhale into warrior two. We'll hold here for a moment. Maybe widening the stance, lunging a little deeper. Just be careful. Just be aware of this front knee. Be sure it's pointing directly forward. Okay, make sure it's not dipping to the inside of the foot, but forward. Okay, and make sure the knee is either stacked right over your heel or ankle. Mine's probably right over my heel. Let's take side angle pose. Reach forward right there, angle the upper half of the body, rotate your arm so your right hand will come down, left hand reaching up into the air. Nice extension. Couple more breaths here. Getting a nice side body stretch. Great for the legs here too. It's a great hip opener. This is one of my favorite poses. So many things are happening in this posture. Let's breathe in. And the exhale will carefully turn to face the ground, fold so you can bring your hands back down to the ground. We'll step back into plank pose. Again, we'll pause here for a moment. The next exhale, just bend your knees slightly, lift hips into the air. Another shortcut to down dog. We'll inhale now to extend left leg up straight as can be, reaching back energetically through your toes. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the ground. Take your time if you need to as you transition. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Good adjustment in the feet, maybe a wider stance, outstretched arms. Check in with the alignment of this front knee, pointing forward, knee stacked over heel or ankle. That protects the knee joint. We really don't want to have the knee jetting past the ankle bone because it might put too much pressure on that front knee. Side angle, reach forward, angled upper body, rotate the arms. Now, of course, you can always come down lower in this posture. Your left hand can touch the ground, or if you've got those stacked blocks, you can bring your blocks in. This is most comfortable for me. This is where I like to do my side angle postures. Nice expansion here, opening up through the chest. Let's move on the inhale. Exhale to turn, to bring hands down to the ground, step back into plank pose. You can take the shortcut again or complete the series with chaturanga. Up dog, long legs, point your toes behind you. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's hold here. Okay, we're gonna go back down to the ground. You can hop forward, cross your legs and take a seat, or just kneel down and take a seat. Here, you're gonna extend your legs out front and then take them wide. Okay, I'm going to turn to face you to do this. Okay, so we're just really just kind of creating like a V shape. They don't have to go out too wide unless you'd like to. I'm going to take mine a little wider, but just go to a comfortable place for you. Okay, I'm going to take mine a little wider. Now, here you want to flex the feet. Again, it just keeps the legs active, just like we did when we extended the legs up into the air. In a way, we're kind of forming a triangle here. Flexed feet, nice active legs. We're just going to take a forward fold here. Now, one of the things we want to do as we take this forward fold, because the torso is going to come forward, but we don't want the legs to fold in. Okay, that looks like this. If I'm folding for the legs fold in, do you see how my legs folded in? Okay, what we would want to do is actually let the legs kind of roll back, okay, an outward spiral, okay? So here we go. Let's do this first. Bring your hands behind you, push into the ground just so you have a nicely extended spine. It will just help you sit up nice and tall. Breathe in again. Exhale, start to hinge forward. You're really leading with your chest and maybe your chin, like there was a fence or a wall right here. You have to kind of look up and over it, okay? And you've got the hands behind you to support you. And your spine stays pretty straight. And you're probably getting a nice hamstring stretch here too. You can stay just like this. If you happen to be a little lower, you might want to bring one hand in front, so just help to stabilize the body. You don't have to force this at all. You can stay just like this as long as you're feeling that extension in the legs. Now you can certainly go down lower, maybe bringing both hands in front. Remember, as your torso is coming forward, you want to feel your legs roll backward, okay? Back towards the wall behind you. Really dynamic sensation in the pelvis where the legs connect right there. Remember, you don't have to go down this low. It's okay if the back rounds a little bit, and if you need to, please bend your knees. You can put a slight bend in the knees. All right, so we're really getting a good extension in the legs here. You might even feel this in the inner thighs, the pelvic region, outer spiral of the legs. 3 more breaths. After your third breath, whatever fold you're taking, or you're just coming back up, We're going to bring the legs back together. I'm just going to spin around this way again. Let's go back to our boat pose. You might lean back a little, bend the knees. Remember, you can do this with heels on the ground. It can be like this. Or lean back more, lift your feet. Let's add on to this. Hold on to your legs. If your knees are bent, hold on to the legs like this. Look at the knees. Hopefully they're aligned right here, okay? And what we're going to do, we're going to extend the left leg. Extend your left leg, pushing through the heel right there. Again, another leg extension. Just hold on to the leg. Bend the knee, come back to neutral, back to the bent knee, and then extend the right leg. And you're hinging at the knee joint. See how my knees are still aligned with one another? I'm just extending the leg. Okay, then I'm going to bring it back to neutral, still holding on. As you're able, extending both legs. So we have a leg extension, and we almost have another triangle right here. It's a V shape, but it's kind of a triangle shape there too. You can even point your toes. Okay, we're going to breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side, so you can make your way back to plank pose. Strong straight line. Let's bend the knees, hips into the air, downward facing dog, just a shortcut. And of course, down dog is a triangle too. All right, we're going to breathe in fully, fill up your lungs, exhale completely, engage your belly, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of your mat, stay on your feet. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Those hamstrings should be getting a nice stretch. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, come up to standing, reach high. And exhale, just gonna bring your arms down by your side. Right there. Good. All righty, get a sip of water if you need it. All right, I'm just gonna do another work with the legs, okay? So I'm facing you. So just go ahead and take the feet out a little wider, something like this. And here's another little A-frame, okay? So we got the legs out to the side. Instead of having the toes pointing forward, turn your toes out a little bit like that. And you might even take the legs out even more. You'll have to adjust as we get into this next piece, okay? Just depending on how far out you want the feet. Because what we're gonna do is bend the knees and kind of come down to, in dance, it's a grand plie, okay? Just this bending of the knees right here, okay? So just kind of sitting right down. And same thing, you wanna be very aware of your knees and where they're aligned. Here, either aligned over your ankle bones or heels. You're gonna feel this in the thighs. If you go lower, it's gonna be a deeper sensation, right? As you're able, take the arms out to the side, maybe palms up. One name that's given to this is goddess pose, especially if you take the arms up into the air. Goddess, okay? Strong legs. We're gonna come out of this, come all the way back up, nice and tall, straighten the legs. Bring your arms down. And we'll just go ahead and just step the feet back together. You can even stretch that out, okay? So remember that posture, that goddess pose, because it's gonna show up again. All right, let's come back to mountain pose, and we're gonna flow. Let's inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, take chair pose again. Take a breath in. Exhale, dive out of your seat, make your way down towards toes. Inhale, rise up halfway. And exhale, bent knees, hands to the mat. Hop or step back into plank pose. Right away, come down, finishing the exhale if you're able, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's keep it moving. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, straight line. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to high lunge. So we're going to keep the left heel lifted behind, shift the weight back a little bit. Once again, we want this knee, front knee stacked over heel or ankle. So we can easily float the arms up into the air. So we're in a high lunge position. Everything's facing forward. Okay? We're going to form a bit of another triangle pose by reaching up, lifting yourself up to straighten this front leg. This takes some balance, so squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Now pivot left heel to the floor, turning sideways, bring arms down to parallel. Okay? Now we'll take the traditional triangle posture in yoga. Reach out over this right leg. Angled upper body, rotate the arms. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. And there's many triangles that are formed in the posture. There's one with the legs, okay? And then even with the whole body, with the left hand up into the air, that's going to be the point of the triangle down to each foot. Nice hamstring stretch here. Okay, to come out of the posture, we're going to bend the right knee. Again, watch the alignment here. Come back up to a warrior two. Let's go ahead and reverse the warrior, taking the right hand up into the air. Then a big windmill, bringing both hands down to the floor in front. Let's step back into plank. Finish your series as you'd like. Meeting together in downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, extend left leg straight up and back, straight line. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge, shifting the weight back, nice alignment of knee over ankle, light hands, rise up, facing forward. All right, now this is a balancing position. If you feel kind of wobbly, engage your legs, squeeze to center, pull belly in, reach higher. Just want to bring more action to the body. It'll help stabilize the body. All right, we're reaching up, lifting up to straighten the front leg as best as you can. Okay, then pivot right heel to the floor, turn sideways, bring arms to parallel. And now we're prepped for triangle. Both legs are straight. Reach out over the left thigh, angle upper body, rotate the arms. Here we are, triangle pose. I, again, like to stay up high in the posture. You can certainly go down lower. This left hand can be down by your shin or ankle or even the ground. Form this nice triangle pose. Couple more breaths. Feel that nice extension work in the left hamstring. To come out of the posture, we're going to bend the left knee, lunging. So we can come up to warrior two and then reverse your warrior. Left hand up into the sky. Then our big windmill, bring the hands down to the ground. Step back, there's plank, finishing your flow. Up dog and downward facing dog. Hold for a moment. All right, another lunge sequence. We're going to extend right leg up again, right leg. Right foot to the top of the mat. Let's return to a high lunge. Left heel stays lifted. Shift your weight back. Inhale, rise up. Right there. Squeeze to inner thighs. Pull belly in. Active arms. Lift yourself up. Straighten the right leg. Okay, pivot. Left heel to the floor. Turn sideways. Arms to parallel. So we're prepped for triangle, but we're not doing triangle. What you're going to do is you're going to take this front foot, turn it so it's facing the same direction as your left foot. Now, my feet are not aligned just because of the way that I went into this posture. So we'll just take a moment and just adjust your feet so they're nicely aligned in front here. Nice and wide if you can, and out with the arms. I call this a star shape. Okay, we're going to breathe in. Just follow me. We're going to exhale, bring hands to hips. Hands to hips. And not just to the side, just bring them to the side and then kind of slightly back. If you can see, like your elbows were wings, let the elbows kind of point towards the back of the room. Then use your hands to push pelvis down, like you're pushing your pelvis downward. And then stand up tall through the torso. We're going to inhale and feel that lengthening in the spine. Exhale, pull belly in and bend your knees. Then we're going to start to fold slowly right here. Okay, we're just folding. Maybe just come to a flat back at first. And when you come to this position, so nice and you're parallel with the floor, and with your hands still on hips, feel like you're pushing your hips back to the wall behind you, while the very top of your head feels like it's going forward. Hold here. You're not going to go much lower. Not yet. Next time. Just halfway down. Keep that slight bend in the knees, even more so, like you're in a huddle in a football game, and extend the arms out to the side like this, yes? And now we're going to stand up all the way. Reach up into the air this time. Keep arms up. You're going to turn right foot forward. Keep the legs straight. I kind of call this like a robot move. We're moving into pyramid because we're going to fold forward and then drop the arms, but then the back will come parallel to the floor, but the arms keep swinging until they reach back behind you like this. So we made another kind of that triangle shape with the legs. This is a form of pyramid pose, getting more of that hamstring stretch. Really reach back with the hands. Let's bend the right knee so we can get out of the pose. Reach forward through the arms, rise up to a warrior one. Then fold again, hands all the way down to the ground, and just step back into plank. Hold for length, and then shortcut to down dog. Okay, so that's our little series there. I'm just going to turn around. Okay, we're going to do the other side. Inhale, extend left leg up, straight line. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge, same thing. Rise up with light hands. Everything's facing forward. Squeeze to inner thighs, pull belly in, reach higher. Lift yourself up to straighten the legs. Pivot right heel to the floor, turn sideways, arms come down to parallel. Turn left foot forward. Okay, adjust your feet if you need to. Star shape. We're doing the exact same thing. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, hands to hips. Let the wings, your elbows, point more towards the back of the room. Push pelvis down, get tall. Inhale to grow taller. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees, then fold. It's just a little safer way to fold. Just come to parallel to the ground. Once you're at parallel, push your hips back towards the wall behind you. Head is moving forward. Hold. Breathe. Keep that bend in the knees. Now you might need to bend them a little bit more, extending arms out to the side. We're going to start to come all the way, straight legs, straight torso, reach up into the sky. Turn left foot forward here. Then our little robotic move into pyramid. Folding, come to a flat back parallel to the ground. Arms keep swinging down and then back behind you, reaching back energetically. Again, just parallel to the ground. Feel all these sensations. Legs, you might feel this in the hips, arms. All right, bend the left knee, lunging, arms forward, rising up to warrior one. And then our exhale to fold, hands back down to the ground. Let's step back into plank. Hold, take a shortcut, down dog. All right, with a good exhale, hop, step, or walk, both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's inhale, reverse swan dive. Come up to standing, reaching up high. Exhale, arms down by your side. Well done. All right, we can do another adjustment of my mat. You can get a sip of water. Okay, just still forming all these triangles. So a lot of work with the legs. There's some balancing, good extension work. All right, back up to the top of the mat. Mountain pose. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Breathe in. Exhale, dive out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Legs might be getting a little straighter here too. Inhale, monkey pose. In monkey, you might even straighten the legs a little bit more there. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to the ground. Hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you'd like, chaturanga. Here's our up dog and downward facing dog. Still in motion, inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reach. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Back to our original sequence, warrior one. Left heel plants into the ground behind you, rise up. Exhale, open warrior two. Let's take our side angle, reach out, rotate the arms, right there. Now from here, we're going to come back up through warrior two, reverse your warrior, take the right hand up into the air like so. Reach up, and as you're reaching, we're going to extend this right leg. I call this kind of a reverse triangle pose. And then we'll take it into triangle pose. So just go the other direction. So right hand down, left hand up. Very good. All right, bending the right knee, slight lunge, coming back up to warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Turn right foot forward for our star shape. Adjust the feet if you need to. Okay, here we go. You're going to inhale, reach out. Exhale, hands to hips. Roll shoulders back, elbows back a little bit. Inhale, push pelvis down, lengthen spine. Exhale, belly in, bend your knees and fold. Now we're going to go in slow motion here as we're folding, because we're going to go a little lower, but you're going to release your hips. Take the arms out to the side, make peace fingers, and they're triangles. Peace fingers, come all the way down if you're able. Lift those big toes and see if you can hook your fingers around the big toes. Then inhale, extend your spine, coming up a little bit, extending. Exhale, fold. We're going to hold here for several breaths. To a newer sensation. Because we're lower. Notice where you feel this in your legs. You might feel this in all portions of the legs. The inner legs, the backs of your legs, and even the outer part of the legs. Go ahead and release the big toes. Bring your hands to center, right underneath your face. Okay? We're going to rise up to fingertips to extend the spine. Feel like you're coming forward towards me. Okay? Stay like this because you're going to turn your toes out. Okay? You might need to lean back into your heels and spin the toes out. Bend the knees and come to that kind of that squat position right here. Extending spine, kind of like a cricket right here. Then extend the arms out to the side right there. And then come up, just the torso. We're going to be in our goddess pose. Remember that strong leg posture. Let's take the arms up. See if you can hold that for another breath or two. And then shoot all the way up there. Okay, we're going to kind of pivot the feet to face the right leg here, turning the torso. Here's that robotic move into our triangle. I'm sorry, our pyramid. Okay, that's it. Extended spine, arms out behind you like this. Now you can stay parallel like this, or if you're able, maybe a little bit more extension through spine and maybe lower the torso towards your shin or knee, but not necessary. Okay, coming out, we're bending the right knee, reach forward, rising up, you'll be in warrior one. Then fold, bring the hands back down to the ground. Step back into down dog. Step back, both feet on the ground, hips into the air. We're going to the floor, hop forward, cross legs, take a seat or kneel down. Take the legs forward, take them wide, hands behind, lift through spine. Exhale, fold forward, be sure your legs are spiraling backward. It can be partial, like this, okay, or even more neutral, or down deeper. Deep breaths. Two more deep breaths. After the second breath, you can use your hands to help press into the ground, lifting yourself back up. Take hands behind you because you can lean back, and there might be a nice, easy way to bring the legs back into center. Okay, bend the knees. We're going into boat pose. Yes. Okay, hold on to the backs of the legs, lean back, lifting feet. There we are. Now stay like this if you want, or go back to that leg extension. Maybe point toes. Two more breaths. Challenging yourself, maybe releasing the legs. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back, plank. Okay, hold, shortcut, down dog. We're going to do the other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Left foot to the top of the mat. Basic flow, warrior one. Right heel plants into the ground. Rise up. Exhale, open, warrior two. Side angle, reach forward. Rotate arms. Right there. Hold for a moment. This gets us prepared for that goddess pose because it strengthens the leg. Reverse your warrior. Take the left hand up into the air, hold for a quick second right there, get that good reach. And then now as you're reaching, extend left leg. Kind of a reverse triangle pose. And then rotate it into triangle. All these kind of like clock movements. Left hand down, right hand up. There we are. All right, bend the left knee, a nice little lunge. Come back up to warrior two, right there. Re-extend left leg, turn toes forward to star shape. Adjust the feet. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, hands to hips. Same transition. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees, fold slowly. As you're slowly folding, release the hands from hips out to the side, make peace fingers. Coming down, lift the big toes, scoop them up with your fingers. Inhale, lift up halfway or just an extended spine. Exhale, fold. Two more breaths. Even leaning forward a little bit, just a little bit to get a little bit more action in the hamstrings. All right, you can lean back a little bit so you can release the big toes, hands underneath you. Rise up to fingertips, extending through spine. We're going to hold here. All right, we're going to spin those toes out a little bit. You can kind of heel toe it. Right there, getting the toes to turn out so you can bend the knees and then drop into our little cricket pose that I've made up. Take the arms out to the side, right there. Coming up just the torso into our goddess. Reaching up. Lunging deeper if you can, then float all the way up, straight legs. And then pivot to left foot. Okay, turn the feet, turn your torso. There's our little mechanical movement again, that clock-like movement to pyramid. Going lower only if you want to. We're going to bend the left knee, reach forward, rise up. Warrior one. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog, both feet on the ground. Hold for a moment. Then take a quick break. Bring knees to the floor. If you can, sit back into hero pose or just a regular seat. We're going to go through the same sequence again. We're just going to pick up the pace. So there's a lot of transitions of kind of backward and forward clock movements, extending of legs, bending of knees, all of that. And I'll do my best to guide you through. All righty. Whenever you're ready, join me again in downward facing dog. Basic flow. Here we go. Inhale, reach right leg up into the air. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Rising when you're ready. Exhale, open, warrior two. You can widen the stance there too. Side angle, reach out, tip it over. Rotate the arms. Breathing in. Exhaling. Reverse your warrior. Right hand comes up. Reach up into the sky, straighten the right leg. Clock formation again, back into triangle. Still moving, bend the right knee, lunge. Come back up to warrior two. Re-extend right leg. Turn right foot forward, star shape. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, hands to hips. Push pelvis down, get tall. Inhale. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees, fold. Release the hips, arms out to the side. Make peace fingers, lift the toes. Scoop up those toes. Inhale, re-extend spine. Exhale, fold. Maybe you're folding a little deeper, especially if you took the legs a little wider. Okay, we're releasing, hands to the ground, rise up to fingertips, halfway, hold. Heel toe the feet so the toes turn out, bend the knees, drop down, cricket. I just made that up. Take the arms out to the side, rise up. There's our goddess. Extend the legs. Pivot or turn to the front, right foot. Clock formation to pyramid. Right there. Bend the right knee. Lunge, warrior one. Rise up. Good. Fold. Bring hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Come down this time. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog.
Exhale, downward facing dog. We're taking a seat. Hop forward, cross legs, take a seat. Extend legs out front, out wide. Hands behind you, lift. Exhale, fold. Go as deeply as you like. Remember, you can do like one hand in front, one hand in back, or both hands in back, or both hands in front, depending on how deeply you go. If we're going forward, remember, you get that outer spiral. Your toes are your indicator. If your toes are going forward, that's an inner spiral. If they're going backward, that's an outer spiral. Couple more breaths. Using hands, rise back up. Bring hands behind you, lean back so you can bring your legs back in. We're going to boat, but we're doing a different version of it. Bend the knees. Do this if you can. Okay? So what we're going to do is bring the heels in as closely as we can to the body. Free up the hands, peace fingers. See if you can reach from the outside of the legs to grab big toes. If you can't do this, that's okay. Okay, I'm leaning back. I'm just going to walking the heels back so I can lean back, extended spine. I get to a point where actually the feet begin to lift pretty easily. And then lifting and lifting more, and maybe extending the legs. This takes a whole lot of balance. Okay to go back to the original boat with bent knees, holding onto the backs of the legs, or extending the legs, holding onto them, or reaching up towards the toes. All right, here we go. Breathe in. Exhale, release, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank, stay in plank. Shortcut, downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, extend left leg up behind you. Basic flow, warrior one. Left foot to the top of the mat, right heel down. Rise up. Here we go, our opening warrior two. Nice wide stance right there. Side angle pose. Right there, inhale just to expand. Exhale. Reverse the warrior, we're flowing. Reaching up into the sky, keep reaching, extend left leg. Clock formation to triangle, left hand down, right hand up. Let's bend the left knee again. Return to warrior two. Re-extend left leg. Turn left foot forward, star shape. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, hands to hips, elbows point back. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend knees and fold. As we're folding, releasing the hips, extend out the arms, peace fingers. If you can, grab the big toes. Inhale to extend spine, you're coming forward. Exhale, fold again. Just a couple more seconds. Nice deep forward fold. Release the big toes, hands on the floor. Rise up to fingertips, extend spine. Hold there so we can swivel those feet outward, toes pointing out so you can bend the knees, drop down to that grand plie. Arms out to the side, right there. Then we'll rise up, getting ready for our goddess pose. See if we can hold that a little bit longer, right there. Strong legs, we're getting tall. Rise up, straighten the legs. Pivot to the left foot, spin the toes. Okay, our clock formation to pyramid. Good extension through the back, your spine, your leg, of course. Bend the left knee. Reach forward, rising up, warrior one. Exhale, fold. Let's bring the hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going back down to the floor. Hop forward, cross legs, take a seat. That's our sequence. We're going to lie down. So we'll go ahead and sit in the center of your mat. Roll down onto your back. Hug knees in. Let's go back to the leg extensions. Let's extend left leg out in front, flex foot. Right leg extends up, flex foot. Maybe the leg's a little straighter now. Hold on to the leg. Now, if you've got some flexibility and you have long arms and long fingers like I do, maybe you can reach up, grab that big toe, peace fingers, reaching for that big toe. If you can't, that's perfectly fine, not necessary. That's a pretty intense stretch there. Okay, we're going to release. Maybe you're just holding here with the bent knee. Okay, hug that right knee in. Re-extend the right leg onto the floor, flexed foot. Bring left knee in. Okay, now you could maybe take peace fingers, reach around big toe here, then extend. Okay, if you can do that, or extend it as far as you can and just hold on to the leg. And just notice, even if you have a bend in the knee, and even if you can't reach your toes, maybe you still notice that you made some extension through this left leg. All right, let's bend the knee, hug it in. Let's hug both knees in. And for now, let's just extend both legs into the air. You can just hold on to the backs of the legs. We're not going to hold here too long. And maybe since your feet are free, you can just circle the ankles. Your feet do a lot of work, all that stabilizing for the rest of the body, right? Okay, go ahead and hug the knees in. Maybe a few circles here. Go ahead and choose a hip opener that you like to do. It might be happy baby pose, reclining cobbler's pose. Just choose one of those or do several. I like to do kind of this little frog leg position and imagine like I'm pedaling a bicycle, a really wide bicycle. It just kind of gets into the hips nicely. Just flex the feet, knees bent, legs out to the side. It stretches the inner thighs, and then just with this movement, gets into the sockets there. Maybe a happy baby pose. Go ahead and continue with your hip openers. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths. And even notice your breath. We did a lot of movement, a lot of coordination, a lot of concentrating on what movements we were flowing through. And maybe your heart rate increased a little bit, your breath rate increased a little. But now that we're lying down, everything can start to come back to baseline. All right, go ahead and hug the knees into chest again. Let's take a spinal twist, taking the knees over to the left side. And take right arm off to the right side. Use props here if you need a little extra support, either for the legs, your back, even your head. If you have something soft you want to lie on, like a blanket, that's great. Two more breaths. And then slowly return to center. You might pause there so your body can realign. And then take your knees down to the other side. Nice spinal twist. Go ahead and check in with your breath again. Maybe you're starting to feel a little bit more relaxed, breathing normally, breathing deeply. And 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, just come back to center, give yourself another hug. Now from here, feel free to move into any other pose that we haven't done together. That could be an inverted posture like shoulder stand or just legs in the air. You can move into another back bend, go back to bridge pose or even wheel pose, or another hip opener, whatever you want to do. But if you feel complete, go ahead and make your way into Shavasana. I think I left enough time so that you have time for extra movements, but also time for a nice long resting period in Shavasana. Use props if you need to help support your body.
When you come to your comfortable position, it might be a blanket underneath your head. If you need to bend your knees and maybe place a pillow or big bolster underneath the knees, that always feels nice. And see if you can just come to stillness, maybe close your eyes, pay attention to your breathing. If you've made it to Shavasana, just stay right where you are, holding in stillness, noticing your breath. No need to move just yet. Stay here in the moment. If your mind begins to wander, because sometimes it does, just return to the awareness of your breath. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Even as I prepare to end the class, you're welcome to stay just like this. If you're very comfortable, then stay in this position. When you feel complete, and it's not a rush, begin moving your breath. Just slow breaths in and out, deep breaths. And generating this movement of breath will start the movement of your body. Slow, deep breaths. And perhaps after your fifth breath, you might just come to stillness and then slowly start moving your body. Carefully rolling to one side to a nurturing pose. And then eventually rising to seated. And again, if you're still in Shavasana and you would like to stay there a little longer, please do so. And maybe you've joined me here in seated. Nice lengthened spine, sitting up tall and proud, and your arms can just rest by your side with your hands in your lap or on your knees. Find your breath. And one last movement together. Go ahead and inhale, extend your arms out and up. Yes, reaching high. Then exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart. And once your hands are at your heart space, take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow, saying, Namaste.